Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to talk about KPI visuals in Power BI and its interpretation. Let's start this by understanding what a KPI is. KPI is a short term for key performance indicator. Every businesses, in order to understand how they are performing, they have some measures that they check timely. Say for an example, a retail business might want to check if their monthly sales meets a specific threshold. There are a number of KPI visuals in Power BI. Here in this video, I'll be specifically guiding about how to use the built-in Power BI KPI visual and how to interpret this visual in detail. So let's go ahead. So normally a KPI includes a value, something that you are measuring against a target, and also through the time you want to see how the trend of that measure is. Is it above, is it below? So as to plan any improvement needed in future. So this is my Power BI canvas. Under visualization pane, I'll select the KPI chart. Here it is. Let me expand this a bit. Okay. It requires, see here on the right hand side, it requires an indicator, a value. So we'll drag the sales in here. And for the trend axis, we need say months here. So here we have the month. So this can be a date, it can be a number, or it can be anything that has sequence in it. Let me, now we don't have a target column here in this data. So what I'll do is I'll create a target goal, say of 80K, a new measure. So to create a new measure, we'll click on here, this button, which gives me an option to write a formula. So I'll call it as target sales is equal to, we want it as 80K. Of course, one can have a separate table for goals. Okay, actually I already have created that column here. So this was the way you'll create it. So you'll see a new measure here, target sales. Now see this KPI chart. Can you see the area behind the scene in gray? Now to make it more understandable, what I'll do is I'll create an area chart, separate area chart. So here is the option. Click on this. So what I'll do is again I'll drag the month column in x-axis. Sorry, not this one. Shipping. No, we want the order date months. So month axis and month we'll drag in x-axis and sales in y-axis. Okay. So can you see that it is exactly the same area chart represented above in KPI chart. So what KPI visual usually does is it shows you an area chart which is a trend of how things go. Another thing here is the value you see in the middle here, which is 325.29K dollars. Please make a note that it doesn't mean that it is the total sales or it is filtered for a specific thing. Let me now enable the data labels in area chart to tell you what exactly it is. So go to the area chart using the format visuals here. I'll just enable the data labels. Here you'll see data labels. It is off, so what I'll do is enable the data label. And under that we'll just expand this. Under that what we'll do is values, we'll just increase the font size. Okay, and in display units we'll keep it as thousands, as the KPI is showing the numbers in thousands. So here we'll do it as 1000 and here it is. So I'll just expand this chart as well. So see that the KPI figure represents the last month's sales. See here, it is exactly 325.29. Here also it is exactly 325.29k. So what KPI visual does is that it shows you the trend that as an area chart behind the scene, and the value here is only the value of the last data point. So here in this case the last data point was 325.29k. Observe, this value is nothing but the last reading of that year. Okay, so if for a current year the last reading was say for the month of October, then it will reflect on the KPI chart. It need not be the last month only of the year, it is the last data point. So adding a slicer behind this can be a helpful. So let me just add a slicer here. So I'll add a slice here of the year. So instead of the list, I will change it to, we wanted it as a list, so we'll change it to list. And what we'll do is we'll just select the years. So in this case, like for 2016 the last data point was 69.55k, which is reflected here exactly, and the area chart, the area chart is exactly the same. So for 2017 the last data point was again December 74.92. Also in this KPI, so I hope you all have understood. So you can make some customization in this. For example, you can go to the format of that KPI visual. If you don't like this trend, so we'll just go in this, and if you the visual, we can just go and so here you can just switch off the trend axis if you want, it goes away. Also what you can do is if you go below, you'll see a date option is off here, so we'll just switch it on. So it shows here, can you see here, it is now showing the last data point was for December. So now it is very clear that this reading is for the month of December, and as we have selected 2017, that it is for December 2017. So now let me in this KPI chart, what we'll do is just, I haven't still used my target sales, right, of 80k. What I'll do is now here I'll drag the target sale. So now as you can see, there will be a color coding in this chart. You will see these are not gray anymore, it is orange or it is amber in color, showing both the reading as well as the area chart is red in color. If we select 2016, again it was red. In 2018 it is green. Here is the indicator is the sales is more than the target of 800k, whereas in 2016 we did not achieve the target of 800k. You can customize. Another thing about the target configuration is that you may want to change the color coding, and that is again under the format option here. You'll see here the trend axis, you'll see it has 3 sentiment colors: green, neutral, and green is for good, and amber or orange for neutral, bad color is red. For say as for this example, if your sales is more than the targets, the more the sales, merrier you merrier it is. So definitely high is good in this case. But suppose we have a data for expense. So if it is an expense you are evaluating, then low is always good. You can just change this to low is good. It will make it green. So for our case it is high is good. So we'll select it, high is good. So I hope now you can include several KPI visuals in your reports and dashboard. Let me know what you think about this visual in the comments below, and if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all.